Keith, one-time Thurman talks, being out of the ring so long, injuries, a long layoff, all that good stuff. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, I got to give it up to Al Heyman. Shout out to Al Heyman and Showtime. They have a series called Below the Belt with Brendan Schaub, former UFC fighter. You guys, a lot of you know him from that or the Joe Rogan podcast. And they gave him his own podcast style show, digital show. I don't know what you even call it, but it's called Below the Belt. Link is in the description. And they have him speaking with Deontay Wilder or Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, whoever. And I think this is a good look. And this is part of what the Showtime 3-year commitment with Al Heyman and Premier Boxing Champs is about. You're going to see more and more digital media. You know what I'm saying? They see guys like me, you know, Ego's Army, and they see us killing on the digital platform. Ego's Army, we some front runners, you know, and now they want a piece of that. They want a piece of that pie. So you're gonna look for more ramped up digital content, right? And I give props to Brendan Schaub because he was asking some real good questions. They were honest, genuine questions, and they're really questions that I would ask, or, you know, fans probably would ask. So props to him for that. And he sat down with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman gave his fight prediction. You guys could look at some of the videos. I'm not going to examine his fight prediction for Garcia Porter too much in this. He did say it's anybody's fight. He likes the fight. It's a good fight. And he says that he's leaning towards Porter via decision. But, you know, he outlined what both fighters could do. Now, the thing of most interest was Keith Thurman's own career. You know, we know about Garcia Porter is only a matter of hours before it happens, so we'll get a conclusion. So I'm not really worried about that. But I am worried about Keith Thurman. And watching this interview, it makes me frustrated because you hear Keith Thurman articulate boxing, break it down, and talk, and he knows what he's talking about. And to me, I think Keith Thurman was one of the guys who, out of the Al Heyman stable, out of the new crop of fighter, not like the Andre Bertos and Mayweather's guys that have been signed for a while, but he was one of the up-and-comers that people were really checking for. And then he graduated from co-main events to main events, and he was making a lot of noise. And then he allowed that fire to die down immensely. You know what I mean? I obviously, according to what he's saying, the car accident and injuries and stuff, he couldn't control everything. But for whatever reason, how it's played out, I just feel like Keith Thurman has left his career in a position where you got guys like Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder, and they weren't even as regarded at the time, you know, 2-3 years ago, as much as Keith Thurman. And now what they're doing, their momentum is passing a guy like Keith Thurman. And it sucks because watching this interview, you see Keith Thurman is a good fit for boxing. He knows how to talk boxing. Sometimes he talks greasy when he wants, and he's a calculated fighter, but it's also action in his style, you know? So it's just like, what's taking so long? But Brendan Schaub did ask very good questions, and he even said it. He says, what do you think? He said, does it make you feel a type of way that Danny Garcia is fighting for your old belt with Sean Porter, 2 guys you already beat? And Keith Thurman was just the thing I really question. And if I see him, I'm going to ask him some questions tonight. But I really question the hunger, just like a lot of you, the hunger of Keith Thurman, because to me, his responses were too mild. It reminded me of the quote from, I think, Hagler, where he says, it's hard to get up and run 8 miles at 5 a.m. in silk pajamas. That's the Keith Thurman. That's how he sounds like in his responses. There's like, Brendan Schaub is like, hey, does it frustrate you? Is there any sense of urgency? And he's like, oh, you know, well, I got a good team and we will take our time. We're going to come back and these setbacks do have, it sounds like somebody selling you something, you know? It doesn't sound like the Keith Thurman that, you better not duck me, Thun. What? You know, that Keith Thurman, the one that told Floyd Mayweather, we burning money. But props again to Brendan Schaub. He was right next to Keith Thurman in his face. He has some really good questions. I want you guys to take a listen to it and check it out. But to me, my personal taste, Keith Thurman's responses to inactivity and coming back, he did say some things like, he says, and when I come back to the welterweight division, I will dominate. Like, he's saying stuff like that occasionally, but the overall tone of it, it looks like he's happy with where he's at on the sidelines. That's how I perceived it, because they're asking him, hey, they're fighting for your own belt, and he's like, yeah, I love the fight. It's a good fight. I really like the fight. I can't be stingy, you know. And then Brendan Schaub is like, hey, man, there's a lot of people going in on social media, and it's frustrating. He said, I'm a Keith Thurman fan, and it's frustrating to me. He told him to his face, it's frustrating to me to see you out for so long, because we know what you bring to the table type thing. And he was like, yeah, it could be frustrating, but it's just, I don't know. Like, it just, I didn't hear that spark of life. Like, oh, Keith Thurman, oh shit, he's back. You know, he can't wait to get his hands on the winner, Garcia Porter, or Terrence Crawford, who's making noise and just signed up a new deal, you know, or Errol Spence, the guy who's been calling him out. I personally didn't get that from this interview. And it's a shame, because like I said, Keith Thurman was making a lot of noise at welterweight before a lot of guys, and he's let that kind of subside. And he says he's coming back and he's excited to get back. He mentioned that he got married, and he also said something to Brendan Schaub. He said he was in New York last time he was in New York, and a fan came up to him and said, hey champ, take your time coming back. Can't wait to see you back. And then Brendan Schaub replied to him. He's like, that fan must not have social media. He wasn't on social media, because basically they're tearing you up on social media. And he's like, yeah, people on social media, there's a lot of people angry, but this is not tag team boxing. We got to take our time, and I got a good team. It sounds like to me, he's saying what you want to hear more than that's how he feels. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It just sounds like he's trying to like pacify people. You know, I really don't know if this is the same Keith Thurman. He just looks so mild-mannered. You know, it's just like a clear difference. I mean, it just compared to like Angel Garcia. Angel Garcia, a couple years ago, he was screaming on people, saying controversial things. He's been a lot more chill in this last couple fights. You know, the Robert Guerrero fight, the fight with what's his name, Brandon Rios, and Schaub. He's been a lot more mild-mannered, you know, and I think I think maybe he was getting, this is just speculation, but I think he was getting in hot water for some of the things he was saying, so they told him to fall back a bit, you know. I think they didn't even let him go to a press conference. But Keith Thurman, he's seeming mild-mannered, but where's that coming from? Because like he said, this isn't tag team, so when you come back, these other guys are hungry, and they're passing you in terms of momentum, and boxing is a what have you done for me lately. So man, I wish the best to Keith Thurman. I hope he gets it together and wants to come back. He's a tremendous fighter, knows how to talk and articulate, speak eloquently about boxing. I really want to know how hungry he is. Like I said, props to Brendan Schaub for asking some of the tougher questions. Like he said, I'm frustrated. He told that to Keith Thurman. He said, I'm frustrated because I'm a fan of yours, you know, and he didn't pull no punches telling them how people feel on social media, and that's the reality of it. It's just like Anthony Joshua. People do not take kindly to that. So let me know what you guys think. To me, Keith Thurman, his responses were just real tame, and I'm used to more energy, but it's not his fight week. Maybe that has something to do with it. He's still, from what I didn't see, or what I seen, I didn't watch the very end of the interview because I decided to get on here and make the video before the fight. I don't think he announced his return date. He just basically said we're taking our time and we got to do things right. And one thing, you know, when it rains it pours kind of attitude. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.